Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling a challenge that, well, many of us face as we get older. That natural, sometimes subtle shift in strength and agility.
Mm-hmm. It happens.
Yeah. And, well, what happens when that starts affecting something maybe you've done your whole life, like, say, concealed carrying a handgun for personal safety?
That's a really important point. It's absolutely spot on. As our physical capabilities change, maybe evolve is a better word, we really do need to think about adapting our tools, our strategies,
Right.
especially, like you said, for something as critical as self-defense. It's about making sure things still work effectively and, maintaining that confidence.
Exactly. So, our mission today is to unpack this expert audio guide we found. It actually identifies the top 10 concealed carry handguns it thinks are specifically suited for senior citizens.
Right.
And this source, it's not just like a random list, it seems designed to offer you, the listener, a kind of shortcut to distill what factors really matter when maybe physical capabilities are changing a bit. Think of it as a concentrated burst of insight.
That's a good way to put it. And the source, it bases its selections on five pretty crucial criteria.
Okay, what are they?
Well, first, the ease of the trigger pull, then the demands on grip strength, how much strength you actually need, how manageable the recoil is, that's a big one,
Definitely.
the overall ease of operation, just how simple is it to use, and of course, accuracy, especially under pressure.
Right.
What's interesting, I think, is the goal clearly isn't to find one perfect gun for everyone.
Right. No one size fits all.
Exactly. It's
Huh.
more a curated, varied list. It addresses, diverse needs and preferences within this specific group.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Let's dive into the specifics, the characteristics that make these guns potentially ideal. We're starting, I believe, with some semi-automatic pistols.
That's right. Kicking us off in the semi-auto category is the Glock 26.
Okay, the Glock 26. What makes it stand out for, say, reduced hand strength?
Well, what's really brilliant here is its ergonomic double-stack magazine grip. Now, double stack just means the magazine holds more rounds in two columns. But the genius part for grip strength is how that fuller, kind of wider shape gives weaker hands more leverage, more surface area for a secure hold.
Ah, okay, so it's not just about fitting more bullets, it actually helps with the grip itself.
Precisely. It distributes the pressure better,
Mm.
and it features dual recoil springs. That's a real innovation. They don't just, lessen the feel of the recoil when you fire.
Mm-hmm.
They also make racking the slide, pulling back the top part to load the first round, significantly easier, almost effortless, the source says.
And that's huge, right? Racking the slide can be a real barrier.
A major barrier. This directly addresses that. Plus, it has a pretty straightforward trigger with a built-in safety. Simple to operate.
That point about the double stack grip giving leverage, not just width, that's really helpful. So from a wider grip like that, are we shifting to something maybe narrower next?
We are indeed. Next up is the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield.
The shield. Okay.
This one is incredibly lightweight. That's a big plus if you're carrying it all day.
Sure.
And it has a single stack grip frame. So the magazine holds rounds in just one column. This makes the grip much, much narrower.
Okay, so the opposite of the Glock 26 in that way.
Exactly. And that narrowness can be fantastic for smaller hands or, for those with very limited grip strength. It gives a more natural kind of full wraparound feel for some people.
And probably makes it easier to conceal, too.
Definitely. Very concealable.
Yeah.
Chambering around is straightforward, and its trigger is what's called striker fired,
Right.
which for listeners just means the firing pin is cocked and released directly by the trigger pull. It gives a very consistent, predictable feel, as to the ease of use.
Okay, I can see how that narrower grip would appeal to a different set of hands. Let's move on. The 6-hour P250, what's its unique angle? Especially, I think the source mentioned the trigger.
Yes, the 6-hour P250. It really stands out. The source describes its trigger as one of the best double action only, or DAO, triggers out there.
DAO, so that's like a revolver trigger, basically. Long pull every time.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Every shot requires that same long, consistent pull, and there's no external safety lever to worry about. You just squeeze the trigger and it fires. That offers, incredible simplicity, just point and shoot.
Simple is good.
Very good in this context. And racking the slide is surprisingly easy on this one, too. And it has outstanding recoil control. The source literally says it fits in the hand like a glove,
Wow, okay.
which is a huge benefit if you don't have a lot of grip strength. It uses a double-stack magazine, so good capacity, and it's known for being really accurate.
That focus on intuitive, simple operation, it really seems like a running theme for these semi-autos, doesn't it?
It does. It makes sense. Ease of use is paramount.
So we've looked at a few semi-automatics that focus on grip and ease of use. But, sometimes people just prefer the maybe perceived simplicity or reliability of a different kind of firearm.
Yeah.
Are we moving into revolvers now?
We are indeed. Shifting gears to revolvers now. First up is the Ruger LCR. It's chambered in .38 special.
Okay, the LCR. Why revolvers here?
Well, revolvers are fundamentally simpler machines. Often fewer moving parts, less to potentially go wrong, which many people find reassuring.
Right.
And this LCR model is notably lightweight. The source says it's truly ideal for seniors. It has a great double-action only trigger, much like we just discussed with the P250. But it also gives you the option for a single-action fire, so you can cock the hammer manually for a much lighter trigger pull if you want that precision.
Okay, so flexibility there.
Exactly. And what's really impressive for a .38 revolver of its size is the recoil. The source says very little recoil.
Really? For a .38?
Yeah, especially given its size. The design just prioritizes simplicity, loading, unloading, very intuitive, and all this contributes to that greatly reduced felt recoil. Makes it quite comfortable to shoot.
That's a key point about revolvers often being inherently simpler. Okay, now let's just loop back quickly to semi-autos. The Sig Sauer P238 is next on the list. What makes this particular semi-auto stand out?
The Sig Sauer P238. This one is highlighted specifically for having, and I quote, one of the easiest slides to rack out there.
Okay, that's a big claim and a huge deal for hand strength issues.
Monumental benefit, yeah. Like we said, slide manipulation is often the biggest hurdle with semi-autos for people. This one tackles it directly. It also apparently boasts an amazing trigger, and it's very accurate. Its frame and slide are metal, which gives it a bit more weight than some tiny guns. And that weight actually helps make the recoil surprisingly tolerable for its small size.
Ah, so the weight helps absorb the recoil.
Correct. And it uses what are called 1911 controls.
Okay, what does that mean for the user?
For those who appreciate classic designs or maybe are familiar with them, 1911 controls means the safety lever and the magazine release button are in the positions made famous by the iconic 1911 pistol design.
So familiar and intuitive for many shooters.
Exactly. Offers a sense of familiarity.
Okay, so a semi-auto designed for really easy slide operation. That sounds like a game changer for some folks. What about the Bersa Thunder 380? The source called it an underrated gun, right? Why is it good for this demographic?
Yeah, the Bersa Thunder 380, it apparently offers an outstanding grip surface, really lets you get a tight, secure hold, and it has excellent weight distribution, which again, helps with noticeably reduced recoil.
Seems like recoil management is a constant theme.
Absolutely critical. It's also noted as being very easy to rack the slide, very accessible. The source really emphasizes its suitability for anyone with hand strength issues or physical issues at all. Just a solid combination of ease of use, decent accuracy, and dependability.
A quiet performer, maybe gets overlooked sometimes.
That's the impression, yeah. An underrated gem.
Interesting. Okay, now let's look at another .38 special revolver. This one's the Smith & Wesson Airway. How does it stack up against that Ruger LCR we talked about earlier?
Right, the Smith & Wesson Airway. Another .38 special revolver. It also features an easy double-action only trigger, straightforward reloading, very concealable.
Okay.
Designed for significantly reduced recoil, too. So, on paper, sounds like a great choice for concealed carry for seniors.
But I sense a but.
Well, the source actually offers a direct comparison, which is useful. It says, between this and the LCR, I would recommend the LCR.
Oh, okay. Why?
The reasoning given is, I think Ruger done a better job at reducing that recoil.
Ah. So even between similar guns, those small design differences matter a lot for comfort.
Exactly. It really highlights the nuances. Subtle design choices can make a substantial difference in actual use, in comfort, and usability.
That's a great insight. Okay, now this next one. The Beretta Bobcat 21A. It's chambered in .22 long rifle. The source said this is where it gets really interesting for someone with, very limited strength. What's so revolutionary here?
Yeah, this one is genuinely a standout for maximum accessibility. The Beretta Bobcat 21A. The source calls it perfect for someone really advanced in years and just doesn't have much hand strength.
Okay. And the .22 caliber helps, I assume.
Tremendously. The recoil is described as practically non-existent because it's a small .22 long rifle round. But the real key innovation, the game changer, is its pop-up barrel.
Pop-up barrel? How does that work?
Instead of needing to rack a slide to load the first round, you just press a little lever or button on the side. And the barrel actually tips up, hinges open at the back. You can then easily just drop a single round directly into the chamber.
Wow. So you completely bypass needing to pull back a slide.
Completely bypass it. Then you just snap the barrel closed and it's ready. This directly addresses the slide manipulation problem for people who simply cannot do it.
That is clever.
It really is. It's a tiny gun, but the source says it offers a surprisingly great grip surface for its size. And the slide itself, if you did need to manipulate it for unloading or clearing, is also very easy. The expert in the audio even shared a personal bit saying, even my own mother, who's pushing 80, I'd have no problems recommending this gun for her.
That's quite the endorsement. It's really about finding the safest, easiest option, even if it means a smaller caliber.
Exactly. It's about empowerment through accessibility.
Okay, that pop-up barrel is genuinely innovative. Addresses a core challenge head-on. Now, let's switch gears again. 2.357 Magnum revolvers are on the list. That sounds powerful.
It is a powerful round, yes.
So how did the Smith & Wesson 686 and the Model 66 make that manageable for seniors or folks with grip issues?
That's a great question. Let's take the Smith & Wesson 686 first. It is a .357 Magnum revolver, and yes, that's a potent cartridge. But the key here is its size and weight.
It's a bigger gun.
Yes, it's a larger, heavier revolver. And that sheer mass, that weight, does a fantastic job of soaking up the recoil energy. The source says it greatly reduces the recoil for a .357 Magnum round.
Okay, so the weight tames the power.
Precisely. It also features combat finger grooves and what the source calls an awesome grip surface. It really helps you maintain control. It has a fantastic trigger, too. It's single action, double action. So you get that revolver simplicity, but also the option for a very light, crisp, single-action pull for accuracy. The source stresses its extreme ease of use. Says it's almost impossible to, quote, mess this gun up, making a large frame revolver like this potentially ideal for seniors or really anyone with grip strength issues who still wants a powerful defensive round but needs it in a controllable package.
Makes sense. Heavier, but easier to shoot accurately and comfortably.
Right. And then finally rounding out the list is the Smith & Wesson Model 66. This one is a snub-nose .357 Magnum revolver.
Snub nose, so shorter barrel, more concealable.
Generally, yes. Like the 686, it features those combat finger grooves and that awesome grip surface, designed to give you maximum control despite the power. It's highlighted as having one of the best single-action, double-action trigger revolvers out there.
Yeah.
Again, top-notch trigger quality.
Okay.
And again, its core benefit is that revolver simplicity. Ease of operation, loading, unloading, all pointed to as being ideal for senior citizens.
Now, a snub nose .357, wouldn't that still have more recoil than the bigger 686?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Yep.
A snub-nose .357 is definitely more challenging recoil-wise than its larger counterpart, no question.
So why include it?
Well, I think the source includes it because despite the sharper recoil, the quality of its trigger, its inherent reliability, and that simple revolver operation still make it a strong contender for those who prioritize those aspects and can manage the recoil, maybe valuing the slightly smaller size.
Got it. So options even within the powerful category.
Options and trade-offs, always.
Okay. So we've just gone through this really diverse landscape of firearms. 10 different models, semi-autos, revolvers, different calibers, different features. What does this all mean for you, the listener? It seems like it really connects back to that core idea you mentioned earlier, personalizing your choices.
Exactly. There's clearly no single best gun here. It's a spectrum of designs. Each caters to slightly different physical needs, whether it's primarily grip strength or recoil sensitivity or needing that super easy loading like the Bobcat.
It shows how designers are thinking about these specific ergonomic and mechanical challenges.
They are. And it's important, I think, to broaden the relevance just a bit. While the source guide focused on seniors, it also explicitly states these guns are great ideal guns for anybody dealing with autoimmune disease or anything that's going to inhibit their ability to really have much strength in their hands.
That's a really good point. It's not just about age.
Not at all. It reinforces how thoughtful firearm design, focusing on features that overcome common physical limitations, can empower self-defense for a much wider group of people.
That really was an insightful deep dive. Seeing how, thoughtful design and engineering can meet these very specific needs when it comes to personal safety. We've clearly seen how factors like recoil management, grip ergonomics, the trigger pull, how they become just paramount when physical abilities might be shifting.
And it leads to some genuinely innovative solutions, like that pop-up barrel.
Yeah, definitely.
And this sort of raises a bigger question, doesn't it? Beyond just the physical specs of a tool.
Yeah.
How does understanding your own evolving needs,
Uh-huh.
really being honest about them, and then being willing to adapt your equipment accordingly. How does that empower you?
Right, to make informed decisions for your own safety, your own confidence.
Exactly.
So here's a final thought for you to mull over. When you consider personal defense, how much thought do you give to adapting your equipment to your changing cities over time, rather than maybe just sticking to what you've always used or what worked 10, 20 years ago? Something to think about.